In our health and wellness segment, we are asking the question, what is the picture of perfect health? Is it great skin? Is it the perfect shape? Or having that body that people are just stopping us on the street? I don't know, but our next guest does. And she went from being a top financial advisor to a top health advisor. And her personal journey is our benefit, and we're going to hear all about that. She's the creator of a company called Best Whole Self and author of Best Whole 5. Julie Marie Palumbo joins us in Times Square.
Hi, it's great to be here.
It is great to have you here. So we have a problem as people, in America, which is we can't figure out the body equation, our health and food. Tell us what you see. This is what you do every day. What's the problem?
Exactly. The problem is that everyone thinks it's a one-size-fits-all solution, and it's not. We all have different bodies, we all have different needs, we have different ways of metabolizing foods. So the goal is to find a plan that's specific for your body, also your schedule. So someone who is often on the road or they're athletic and they're constantly working out has different needs than someone who maybe has a desk job or who is more permanently sitting throughout the day. So it's all about creating a plan that's specific for you and not just going online and saying, oh, well, this worked for someone else, it's going to work for me. It's not. You have to be true to yourself and do what makes your body work and also what you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to follow through on it either.
Right. Well, that would be a great part of it. In fact, you figured out the solution because of your personal story.
Correct.
If you could share a little bit of that.
Yes. So as you mentioned, I was a financial advisor for 10 years. And throughout that, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, essentially right when I started my career. So having an autoimmune disease and a stressful job do not mix well. And I was constantly on this cycle of being sick and stressed. And I realized that it was more than just medicine that was going to get me well because I just couldn't get out of the hospital. So I decided to seek out a nutritionist, and I worked with her, and she had me go gluten-free and really change my diet. However, she didn't realize that I had a very demanding schedule and a lot of social obligations and work meetings, travel for clients. So I had to figure out a way to be healthy, but do it in a graceful way that was effective. So I realized after putting together my own plan of being healthy and just bringing it right into my natural work schedule, that there was a need for this for others, and I should have brought wellness into companies, and that is what I do now. So I am now in remission with my Crohn's disease. I've been since 2016.
Very nice.
In the meantime, I became certified to be a health coach and nutrition consultant, and I started Best Whole Self because my motto is, it's not about being skinny, it's about being your best whole self.
That's very nice. We've got to be our best whole self. Tell us how this is doable and achievable.
Absolutely. 80% of what we do is out of habit, and 20% is knowledge. So just because you know you should probably pick the banana with your coffee doesn't mean you're necessarily going to do that, and you'll probably still get your bagel and coffee as you always have because it's in your habit. So by making small habit changes over a period of time, you're able to identify really what makes you reach for certain foods and how they affect your body. And over time, you'll have this long-lasting new lifestyle that is just as natural for you to do as waking up and brushing your teeth every morning. And it's a healthier lifestyle, and it's something that requires zero effort because it's just in your natural day.
I would imagine the biggest objection, you tell me doing what you do, has to be time.
Yes.
That we don't have time. I always joke, we don't have time for anything these days. So how do you deal with time?
You are absolutely right. Time is the most limited resource. We cannot create it. We cannot roll over our minutes into the next day if they're not used. No matter who you are, we all have 24 hours in a day. And it's all about prioritizing yourself, making small changes within the minutes that you have, and avoiding those events that suck time out of your day. So my favorite thing to tell people is to create a habit of preparing the night before. Lay out your clothes for work, pack your breakfast or your lunch, so that no matter what may throw you off in the morning, you have that down pat. And you know that you have your healthy breakfast, your healthy lunch, so you have no excuse for that. You have your clothes set out so you're not scrambling to find that extra shoe. And not only does it create that extra time in the morning, it creates a sense of kind of like de-stressing and solitude because you're not so scrambled before getting to work. So you're coming into work in a better mindset as well.
Right. All right, so tell us about some of your clients and let's get into what you've done specifically to help them.
Sure. So I have worked with a lot of big companies, notably AstraZeneca, Athleta, the clothing store, the apparel store. And it's really apparent that companies are now recognizing the need to increase energy and productivity. And it's costing them a lot, not only to have employees take time off, but to have them physically there, but mentally checked out.
Right.
So I come into companies and I teach them individually, as I mentioned before, a specific plan for their needs and their schedule. I also help people lose weight, but that's not the only goal.
Yeah.
Some people want to lose weight. I've helped a number of clients do that. Some just want to increase energy. And I've actually had one case in particular in which the gentleman wanted to gain weight because he was a volunteer firefighter and he needed the weight to carry the hose by himself.
Right.
So it's so unique in that kind of everything I tell people to do to lose weight, it was the opposite, but it was healthy fats, healthy carbs, not just sugars, and he was able to healthfully gain weight to do his job. So it's a broad spectrum, but the goal is we create a plan and we find a solution to get them to their healthiest point, regardless of what that looks like for them.
Right. Not just weight, it's our best whole self.
Exactly.
There's an emotional component to this, isn't there?
Yes.
What is that?
A lot of the reason why we do anything is because we're trying to mask or satisfy an emotion.
Okay.
Such as boredom. How many
Okay.
times are you watching TV and you're just mindlessly picking the chips out of the bag?
Lots of times until now. You pointed
It's
it
okay,
out.
you're not alone. If we're tired, we think, oh, I need that quick sugar and coffee in the afternoon to
Right.
pick me up. We could do it because we're stressed. A lot of us stress eat. Or on the opposite end, if we want to celebrate, we celebrate with food. Thanksgiving is literally a holiday around food. So we value food and it's tied to our emotions daily, whether it be good or bad. And the idea is to create a nourishment for our bodies without turning to food. And the second you do that, you are no longer a lifer on a diet. You are no longer on that yo-yo on the scale because you have identified the root problem and you're addressing it. And once you identify your emotions and what you could do to satisfy them without leaning on to food, the better you are.
We've got about 90 seconds left. Let's give our audience some action plans. What can
Yes.
they do? Where do they start? What should they do?
Sure. So the first thing I recommend and I would suggest is to download the digital copy of my cookbook, Best Whole 5.
They're going to get it free.
Yes.
All right, we'll put it on
And
there.
it is all clean eating ingredients. You can make it the night of. You don't have to meal prep or meal plan. It can be done on the spot.
Easy.
Next, once you order your book, set up your own system. The 3 pillars to success are the system, the support, and the accountability. So make sure that you have that system in place, whether it be your goals, write them down, get the support not only through a coach like myself, but your family, your friends, your colleagues. Thirdly, do the accountability factor. It makes a world of a difference. Set your goals every week, and if you feel like you're getting derailed, just go back and look at the goals you want to achieve that week and make sure that you're still on track to reach them and maybe make a tweak here and there just to accommodate. And if you have those 3 pillars in line, you will be on the right track to reaching your health and wellness goals in no time.
Congrats on the big books, on
Thank
where
you.
everything's going. Where do you see it going in the next couple of years? Your business.
I want to be, in addition to being in Times Square, this is incredible. I would love to be the go-to health expert in large companies because if I could take my own health out of the gutter and thrive and be healthy and be in remission, I could do that for anyone regardless of what end of the spectrum they are health-wise.
It sounds like it's already happening. Julie Marie Palumbo, thank you for joining
Thank you,
us
Jess.
today. We'll be right back.